Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start, let me introduce myself as my name is Nur Haryani binti Ahmad Zarif from Form 4. I learn at Sekolah Menengah Agama Maahad Al Mizan, code AFT 4002. Today, I'm excited to share a review of Dog Diaries, Once Upon a Dog, the 8th book in the Dog Diaries series by Rachel Rini Russell. If you're a fan of middle school drama, humor, and fairy tale adventures with a modern twist, then this book is definitely for you. Let me start by saying that Dog Diaries is a hugely popular series for a reason. It's funny, relatable, and full of heart. The main character, Nikki Maxwell, is just like many of us. She's trying to figure out life, school, friendships, and how to survive embarrassing moments without completely losing her mind. What makes this book special is the way it combines that regular middle school drama with magical fairy tale adventure. In Once Upon a Dog, things take a surprising turn. Nikki gets knocked out and ends up in a dream world where she finds herself inside a crazy, mixed up fairy tale. It's not just one story, it's like every fairy tale you've ever heard, all mashed together, with a lot of silly and creative twists. Nikki becomes the hero of her own story, but it's not easy. She has to face challenges, solve problems, and deal with the same old mean girl drama from magazine, even in a fantasy world. One thing I really like about this book is how the author plays with well-known fairy tales. For example, there are nods to Cinderella, Rapunzel, and Snow White. But instead of following the usual fairy tale rules, everything is flipped upside down. The characters all have fairy tale versions of themselves. Brandon is a charming prince, Chloe and Zoe are her quirky sidekicks, and Mackenzie is basically the evil queen. It's creative, funny, and also makes you think about how these fairy tales would work if they happened today. The diary format is one of the most fun parts of the series. Nikki tells the story in her own words with lots of humor, over the top reactions, and doodles. Her voice is so real and so honest that it feels like you're reading your best friend's journal. She exaggerates in a funny way, but also shares real emotion like feeling left out, being unsure of herself, or worrying about fitting in. Another thing I appreciate is the message behind the book. Even though it's set in a dream world, Nikki learns something important. Being a hero doesn't mean being perfect. She makes mistakes, she doubts herself, and sometimes things go totally wrong. But she keeps going. She learns to trust her friends, believe in herself, and use her brain, not just magic, to solve problems. It's a great reminder that you don't need to be popular or perfect to make a difference. Being kind, loyal, and brave in your own way is what really matters. The illustration adds so much to the story. Every page has fun sketches, speech bubbles, and dramatic expression that really bring the story to life. It's almost like reading a graphic novel, and it makes the story even more engaging. You can see Nikki's imagination on full display as she tries to make sense of this wild fairy tale world. To sum in terms of audience, I think Once Upon a Dog is perfect for readers aged 9 to 13, but honestly, anyone who enjoys humor, fairy tales, or stories about friendship will enjoy it. If you've ever felt awkward, had a bad day at school, or dealt with someone like Mackenzie, you relate to Nikki and her journey. So to sum it all up, Dog Diaries Once Upon a Dog is a funny, magical, and meaningful book that takes everything we love about fairy tales and turns it into something completely original. Rachel Rini Russell continues to make Nikki's world fun and relatable, even when it's filled with fairy godmothers, dragons, and enchanted forests. If you're looking for a book that makes you laugh, lets you escape into a fun adventure, and reminds you to embrace who you are, dorky moments and all, this one's a great choice. Thanks, Thanks for listening to my review. I hope you check out Once Upon a Dog, and remember, sometimes being a little dorky is what makes you the hero of your own story. That's all from me. Goodbye.